today. I think we're very fortunate indeed to be joined for our inaugural Lunch With by Jonathan Rubinsztein. Jonathan is currently the CEO of UXC Red Rock Consulting, and Jonathan was the founder of Red Rock Consulting, runs what is one of the most dynamic and successful IT consulting businesses in Australia and New Zealand. Jonathan could talk about anything, particularly across strategy, building new businesses, IT strategy and entrepreneurship. But today we've asked him to focus on building a sales culture, something which has been very important to the Red Rock success story. So join with me in welcoming Jonathan Rubinsztein.
Tell me a little bit about your organisation and how you built this sales culture within your organisation.
So I run a business called UXC Red Rock Consulting, and we are the largest Oracle consulting business in Australia and New Zealand. We have 9 offices, and one of the opportunities we had was to get some alignment across the geographies and also across the go-to-markets that we have in those geographies. The opportunity to drive that cultural change through defining our core values. So we define our core values very clearly, and we've adopted those in our organisation from the time we recruit new staff, to the way we manage our staff, to the interactions with our customers. And by embracing and adopting and trying to merge and gel those core values very clearly into everything we do, I believe that that's one way that and we call it an X factor. That's how we've defined that unique thing that differentiates ourselves and differentiates those interactions between the Red Rock people and our customers. So some of those core values are, for example, good enough is not enough. We always like to delight our customers, and that we like to have fun seriously.
Jonathan, today you've been talking to the University of Sydney Business School's MBA cohort about a sales culture. What exactly do you mean by a sales culture?
Look, we were trying to reflect an organisation's strategy. We were talking about how an organisation's strategy is reflected in how people in the organisation interact with their stakeholders or customers. And to me, that's really the sales culture, which is how do you reflect what the organisation wants to be, its purpose, its value, its competitive differentiation to its key internal or external stakeholders or customers. Our purpose is around the journey with our customers to drive business outcomes. To me, that's what a sales culture is. It's reflecting what do we want to be differently, how do we want to operate differently, and who are we as an organisation, and how do we therefore operate with our customers. And it's not necessarily selling. So it might be our customer service or reflecting our organisation's persona or core values, etc., etc.
Just finally, what is the message you would like the students that you spoke to today to leave with?
Culture and I think having a sales culture as part of one's culture is around the way the organisation operates. It's how leadership actually walks the walk. It's how it's reflected in stories about the culture. It's reflected in events and it's this crazy thing. It's this X factor that is not tangible. But I think the only thing that my experience around culture is if we walk the walk as leaders, that's the easiest way to demonstrate what an organisation's culture is all about.